Hi, this is Matthew. I'm going to talk about an interesting Apple TV Plus show. It's called Severance. Just finished up its second season. There's 2 seasons. I think there are 10 episodes each so far. Very strange show, but a good show. It's a sci-fi show. Christopher Walken and Patricia Arquette are in it. Those are the only 2 names that I know particularly well. I think there's maybe a few others have been in some other things, but those are the names that stick out to me. There are others in the cast. Those are the 2 that I'm more familiar with. It is... it's very hard to explain what this show even is. It's a show where they work in an office, a corporation called Lumen, in their offices, and nobody really knows what they're doing exactly. The thing is, when you go in, you're one person, but when you go into the elevator, you start going up to the floors of the building, all of a sudden your whole personality is now your work self. You get transferred into this other body, I suppose. And it's very hard to explain. There's a bunch of really weird things happening in this particular corporation. Very strange things are happening in the seasons. I don't want to give too much away, but it's hard to even know what's happening. It is audio described, and they do an excellent job as best as they can. There's a lot happening, so I think they're doing the best they can to describe what's important. There's probably other things that are not mentioned, but there's a lot there. We have to get a season recap of 2, perhaps, at some point. I don't know when the next season will come out, but there's a lot of weird stuff happening. Apparently, though, it's a weird mix of technology, too. I know there's a lot of homages to old Apple products. My brother found a Reddit post about it. It's some kind of like a visual effects thing he's in, or something. I'm not sure. He does lots of weird Reddits. Lots of interesting Reddits he's in. Not weird necessarily, just interesting. So I don't know how far he's gotten, but he's watched, I think most of it, if not all of it by now. Probably. Close to, maybe. But yeah, it's a very weird, a lot of weird, stuff on the walls, and there's animals in there randomly, and just weird people that people can get replaced all of a sudden with no warning. There's one person, and all of a sudden there's a 14-year-old kid who's their boss. All kinds of weird stuff happening in this show. It's hard to kind of at least get my head around. It's a very interesting show, a very good show, well done show, well acted. But yeah, definitely not your typical sci-fi show, at least in some ways. But very interesting, because you're just more you're going, what is going on, and what are they doing, and why is it happening, and what. But I don't want to give a lot away. I want you guys to watch it. So, but it is it just got done last week. Right now it's March 25th as I'm recording, but last Friday it got its season finale for season 2. So it's on Apple TV Plus. If you've got it, go watch it. You can always get a free trial of it. I think it's at least a week, if not longer. I forget. I don't know. So I signed up for the very beginning. Then my brother got Apple One, so I'm watching it there instead. It just once I was into that part in the family plan, it just dropped off my subscription. So I guess I could always get it back later if something were to happen with Apple One or something. But it's at least 7 days, if not longer. I don't know what the current offers are. I haven't looked, honestly. But you'll know you can look at, do a search for it on the web, look through at the website, or on your Apple TV, on your phone or iPad or computer or your TV or whatever you want to watch it. There's probably an app. Most apps it should be available in most platforms, stores, as far as I know. Pretty sure it's at least in most of them, if not all, that I know about. So Yeah, give it a look. Very good. It's very well. It is audio described. English and other languages, like Apple TV always does. So if you speak more than one language, or maybe English and something else, there's options if you want to watch it in another dub. Because you have the regular audio of English and you have all the other dubs, but then you have a description of those dubs, with, of course, a description in the language in question. So at least 5 or 6 or 7, if not more. I forget how many dubs. I know there's more on animated stuff sometimes than live action, but this is live action, obviously. But hopefully there'll be an equivalent dub of something that you would speak, or even a secondary language. But there should be multiple options. I don't know how the other ones do with the description, but I'm sure it's just as good. I would think. I don't think Apple would get junky, not good descriptions, so I'm sure it's good. I don't speak them, so I'm not sure. I know some Spanish, but I haven't really clicked over to see what either one of those is. Yeah, I know there's Latin American and Castilian Spanish. I think there's like French and French Canadian. I know there's Brazilian and then the regular thing. There's Brazilian Portuguese too. I know there's German. I think there's Italian, Japanese usually. There has been Russian, I think. Last I knew, anyway, there was Russian. And I want to say there's some kind of a Chinese dub. I don't know if any Polish or not. I think there's like Swedish and things. I'm not sure exactly on some of the shows. I know the new Fraggle Rock show is Danish, for example. I remember that. But, obviously, the countries that do live action are going to have dubs, whereas the ones that maybe only do maybe animated or family stuff, they're not going to have a dub here. But just check the audio settings portion, and you should find a dub that you should be able to understand. If you're not as good at English, or just by you want to hear another dub, there's a whole bunch. So there's also some dialogue enhancement. I haven't really played with that. You can enable that too in there. There's like 2 or 3 settings of that. I need to play with that. I haven't done so. I may play with that. I hope it wouldn't mess with the audio description. I don't know that it does. I'll have to play with that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if it does. If audio description is kept or if it just takes it out. I haven't really played with it. I guess the next Apple TV thing I watch, I will go and see what that's like. But there are, if you have trouble hearing dialogue, you might enhance it a bit. It's like 3 settings of enhancement. It's like enhanced and I think extreme enhancers. I can't remember what the other one is, but there's a second one in there. But, yeah, there's lots of options. Of course, captions, of course. Yeah, give it a watch, though. It's very good, very interesting. I'm sure there'll be more of it. I assume it's probably done well enough. People are talking about it everywhere online. They've got on the late night talk shows. If you have seen some of that, they've been on there. I know somebody was on, I know my mom watches Jimmy Fallon. I know somebody came on there at one point and talked about it right as it premiered. So yeah, there's lots of buzz about it everywhere. You might have seen it someplace. In fact, 6 hours ago, I was looking, make sure I could spell the name properly for they name this. 6 hours ago, there's a New York Times article about the finale. So people are still writing about it, even though that was on Friday. But somebody has wrote something out 6 hours ago about it. So it's everywhere. A very good show, but give it a look. And let me know your thoughts. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it not your thing? Are you as confused as most of us are? Maybe you caught something I didn't, but I'll probably have to do a recap of season 2 somewhere. I'll see if I can find an overview of the season just for myself, or maybe at least the episodes. I might go look at them as a recap. I have too many things to watch that I like to watch. I don't know if I'll go back and watch it necessarily, but I do want to recap to make sure I got all of it. There's a lot happening. But a very, very interesting, very good show. props to everybody involved, and I will see you guys in another video.